right now.
Let's go.
Burn against mid-range red. So we'll probably
Interesting.
see the Scourge Flame get tossed away. I expect Flame Burst to be kept, and from Lu, just one of the Fire Alleys were thrown away. Makes sense?
Yeah, my default keep here would be exactly Bloodsinger Flame Burst. Actually, question: is it Bloodsinger or Bloodsinger?
This has been a long-ass debate, and
Makes you
there is
think,
no
doesn't
wrong
it, huh?
answer. He's either singing in joy over the blood, or he's a Singer. I don't know. Either way, he's pretty cool.
So it used to be the case that you just committed to one side at the start as red because you intended to go to both sides. Sorry, I mean as red burn. But more recently, people have been starting in front. So I guess if I was Flowtas, this would be in order to go in exactly the opposite direction as the red mid-range player. 'Cause- But I'm not Flowtas.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, I think the exact same thing. Normally you mount into both sides so that you put the Brigand on the same side as your opponent and the Bloodstainer on the opposite side. That was the whole point. But
yeah. So
I
Flowt
don't know
a
what this
wild
is.
a wild Flowtas wants to fight. Let's go.
There's no way you double cipher a Bloodstainer, right? Or do you do it?
Right, maybe. Oh, I mean, Redburn plays literally nothing that dies to one ciphers, does it? No,
Rebel
plays,
Singers?
yeah, you're right, Rebel Singer and sometimes Flame Spitter. Oh yeah, fine then. It plays not many things.
But I mean, if it
Oh,
collects, like
so
it's
it's
basically
like
the
three
same
mana
thing.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, and if Lotus didn't have removal here, we would be in such a great shape.
Right.
Yeah, Redburn. I mean, it's interesting. Like it's got really strong sort of mid early game when it starts playing Shadim Pests and such, and even sort of forecast hate seeds. But their super early game can be quite fragile um, before any of their scaling happens, and if they don't get pests out, because they often play things like Outland Ranger or um, Fire Elemental, whose strength isn't in their toughness stat. So if they just get removed and never get to collect, it can be really bad.
Now, kind of surprising to me, Flotaz is going to take the lead if he makes the mountain in the far back, drops
And it
Bloodstainer,
takes
Flame Burst
me
the
whatever he does.
5/2, next turn Deserts to collect. He never has to worry about any sort of comeback.
I mean,
This
that's not
line,
true. He's still
you can be greedy and hope to be double collecting on your opponent's lands, but now how do you deal with like an Axe Grinder or something?
chances you're double collecting is quite low, but notably by going to the other side, you are potentially giving the opponent the ability to just double collect. Or I mean, you can just draw Bomb Slinger and then be massively rewarded for Flotas's line. That's pretty cool. Jokes aside, I'm not sure his line was wrong, but it was very aggressive. And the reward pretty much was the Bomb Slinger because it meant he didn't need to make a land in order um to be in range with the Bomb Slinger, and he didn't need the land to collect, so he could plus one. So yeah,
Okay,
it worked out really well.
so if you plus one Hate Seed, your opponent needs Cypher's Wrath in order to do like an even trade, kind of. It's not what you want, but it's fine. Whereas if your opponent doesn't have it, they can't Ground Shaker this turn, they can't do much. So do you just bite the bullet and play the Hate Seed?
I mean, the problem is if you play the Hate Seed and the opponent has any removal, they just hit it and remove it, and they're in this position where they're still collecting you or not.
Well,
It
the
actually,
alternative is you don't play anything and they collect and you're not collecting, so that doesn't really change though.
but by playing not next to a Bomb Slinger, Luu's effectively giving his Hate Seed 4 extra HP, so it's much harder to kill even though Flotas sees an additional draw. I, yeah, I quite like what Lou did here. I, I mean, I don't think there was a perfect answer just because he's quite far behind. Because the way he's done it, the problem is Flotas can write his lands to double collect,
Right.
but yeah, like it lets him slow the game down a bit. Set up his own collecting. It's kind of fun.
And he can keep scaling the hate seeds if he draws
Yeah.
into something like an Axe Grinder or Outland Ranger or anything like that.
Yeah. This is kind of the nasty bit about playing against Burn though. Like if you kind of often need to crush them because once eventually they're going to kill you. They have a lot of inevitability with their Scout Flames. Um, yeah, they just do so much damage. And by going to the other side, that is something Luke did kind of give up. He gave up the ability to just try and crush Flowtas. But he was so far behind that that was kind of gone anyway, so he just needs to take it long and hope.
Yeah. I mean, some of the ways you used to crush Burn was back when they would run like Grimguards and stuff, and like with Bloodsingers and Grimguards, you eventually just had creatures that would just value trade very well. And I've
Yeah,
seen that Red Burn has started to drop Grimguards for firebombs. That seems to
yeah,
be the change I've seen.
yeah. They're playing more just solid cards, which make it hard to overpower them, which is kind of cool. Oh, speaking of Floatas' early land positioning, in retrospect, I kind of like it because he needed to go to 2 lands on turn 2 in order to play the Bloodsinger uh, Fire Bla- Flame Blast, and then he wants his last mountain to be in a good position for Bomb Slingers. So I guess it was either this or Desert where he put the third mountain.
Yeah, maybe if you're Burn with Bomb Slingers, maybe your best way of defending against Red is to triple mountain towards them so you have the Bomb Slinger spot.
Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Like what I see a lot of people do is just Bloodsinger anytime they can play it and get a kill. And the problem is it's only got 2 HP, so by doing this you actually often end up in positions where you can't win the board anymore.
Oh, this is so good for Flotas.
Yeah, that was a sick draw.
I mean, he has a few really good lines, right? Because he could Scourge Flame the 4/5 ciphers,
He
or
could Scourge Flame the
just
3/2.
ciphers.
He could,
He doesn't have to hit this. He can just Bloodsinger and ciphers. Or,
yeah, but
sorry, well, he can't Bloodsinger ciphers, but he can just ciphers, I
uh,
mean.
you just hit it though anyway because it locks in 3 damage, I think. Oh, okay. That
I
might be
like
right.
this.
I don't.
You're triple collecting. Your opponent can't really do anything against this.
And it can just go face actually.
Yep.
It's actually very scary when burn decks get to go face because they're designed to 20 you without being anywhere near you, right? So if on top of that they get to hit you, it's pretty good.
So Lou,
So
if he wants to, he can opt into Bomb Slingering the Scourge Flame. I mean, I think that's just your best line.
I think wants to is a very strong word, but yeah, that might be his best. Is there any chance you can like bank for Garradin and come back that way?
I don't think with Garradin, no. But I think if you hate seed, there's a chance you can bank for just more removal.
Maybe just playing the hate seed was better. Just
It
like I
it
see
could
why
be
he
the
did
case
it.
that just playing the hate seed was better.
I really hate the fact that they like this V1 gets to hit into the 4/2.
All right, time to test
Okay.
your knowledge of the game. If he firestorms and then the 2/4 hits into the 4/5, does one damage go to face
I can
or does
never
it not
remember
go to face?
which way around it is. Like it's, I think it's if the Bloodsinger hits in, then you take 1 damage. But if you hit into the Bloodsinger, you don't, or something. But I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's one way or around or the other, and it's not particularly intuitive.
There needs to be a solo mission that teaches when Bloodsinger pings. I mean, it
Oh
could be
yeah,
the case that Bloodsinger never pings, and I just always think it does.
no, it definitely does. I don't know when, but there's some time it does.
Okay.
Has Flowtas drawn yet? No. I mean, he could triple collect +1 Firebringer Firestorm. Okay.
Oh, he's just gonna ground shaker on the opponent's face. That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I lied.
Okay.
He's gonna show us the mechanic. Did one go to face? No.
Nope. Okay. I'm sure I've seen it work though.
I thought
I
I've
wonder
seen
if
it work too, but I've never
yeah.
seen it actually happen when I've talked about it. So
I maybe it's
maybe I'm just
inconsistent.
thinking in the past maybe it used to, and they changed it and it never does anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen this shit recently.
You've seen it
Maybe it,
recently?
yeah. I think maybe it depends on who's first in the lobby or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have
or
to leave it to your
who's player
expertise.
one.
This is actually kind of bad for Flowtas now. If he had dropped Ground Shaker on the opponent's face, it looked like it was game over. But now Luu's like back in the game and looking very good.
Yeah, there's weird tipping points again, right? Like when can you just all in and go, even if my opponent say quad collects here, which I think they would have, right? Or could have. Like when can they just not come back?
Yeah, they would
And
have been able to quad collect if he made a land, which means he's working with
yeah,
less
and I
less
don't
options.
really hate what Flowtas did, but I think if you were going to Firestorm and trade, you should have plus one Bloodsinger on the other side as well, and probably maybe yeah, and that meant double collecting with Scourge Flame.
Yeah, that way
So
you at least got 2 pings as well.
yeah, you would have done one less damage, but you would have had one more mana and a Bloodsinger out ready to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think your line was the best way of doing it. Or dropping the Ground Shaker. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right that dropping the Ground Shaker was one of those situations where red mid range with its limited mobility and not actually that high removal package just can't really come back. Which, like we saw in what was the game before, like Tolarian versus Sushiro, kind
Sushi
of what happened.
Core versus Tellurian,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, kind of like what happened there, where Sushiko was insanely far ahead in value, but they just couldn't apply it to the right section of the battlefield, so they just died.
Yeah, he had so much collected to, or so much invested in collecting, and then committed a bunch into aggression as well, and ended up just not having a way of defending. As Lou, what are you looking to do? He doesn't want to double collect. Now that makes sense, because you need to defend, because your opponent can drop something with going into 6 fairy a turn.
Um,
So I understand not stepping up. He doesn't want to lose. Do you outland like in the bottom part of the left side then? Do you do it on the
so
mountain?
wait, what was the lose if he stepped up?
Well, if he steps up, the opponent can
Oh, and
drop
it's like
something on the
yeah,
mountain
yeah, I
and you're
get
not there.
yeah, which is still possible. I mean, despite what I've been saying, this aggressive mountain is actually quite nasty. Like it's already done something. It's stopped Lou from double collecting here
Yep.
because he has to be worried about it. That's aggressive. It it feels a bit there like Lou was playing as if he was behind, whereas in fact he might be ahead. Like by
Devouring plant in burn!
oh,
Okay,
that's cool.
Flowtas is now taking the lead. That's even cooler than Meteor. That's the new cool. Flowtas has the lead with Devouring Plant and Burn. I've seen this before, once or twice, so it's not like unheard of, but
Speaking
it's
of
really
which, do
cool.
you step onto the desert with the 2/4 and plant the 4/3? I guess if he does, he'll get punished by Ground Shaker, which is a known quantity. Or like
Wait, I'm
it's ground
confused. Why
ground
don't you
shaker
just
flavor.
Ground Shaker aggressively and have your Bloodsinger kill off the 4-3?
I don't like trading Bloodsinger into the 4/3.
But
I
you
bet you if you
develop
ground,
Ground Shaker
yeah,
aggressively?
I guess. Uh,
Hmm.
Oh,
This is kind of cool too.
so he denies a double collect and deals 4 damage to the hate seed. I mean, that hate seed isn't going to be that good for stopping things soon. It's actually sort of in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I like the turns on Pest. That's pretty cool. How many bomb singers have we seen from Flowtas? One from Flowtas, one from Lou?
I feel like we've seen more than one from each. I thought it was more than that.
I'm sure it's been at least one from each. No, Lou's been at least two. He played one on the left, one on the right. I'm not sure if... No, Flowtas hasn't because he never would have had a chance, but he, like, Lou wouldn't have been playing aggressively onto his mountains.
There's
Was-
Scourge Flame, but it's a bit late.
Well, is it? I mean, it's still going to have a chance to kill that hate seed and deal 3, and probably double collect.
So if you draw a card, you can plant next turn still +1 Spectre, so I would like to see drawing a card. But then again, your hand is so heavy that... I don't
Why are
know.
you planting? Plant?
Well, you don't have to. You could just land step backwards or plant the pest so that
Yeah.
it doesn't double collect.
I think you land and step backwards.
Yeah. Okay, I
Like,
realized that afterwards you could just
yeah,
step back, and that seems a lot better. The only punish is Horsemaster, and it's not that bad, because if he had
it's got.
Horsemaster, he could hit face anyway.
I think this has got to the point where Lou has like he's pretty far ahead on board, and Flowtas shouldn't be trying to contest the board. But because Flowtas is a burn play, he doesn't necessarily need to. Lou's on 9 life, so it's like Lou actually needs to find a way to end the game while defending against this mountain on his face and not losing the value war. So yeah, I mean, if this was most other decks, I would just call it as over for Flotas. But with Burn, I'm not even sure who's winning because I don't play Burn enough. It's at least close. Where did he plant? That's interesting. So he denied a collect. He must be carefully counting here, right, to decide what he wants to do and what he wants to deny Lou.
Yeah, this is a bit strange, because the double landing doesn't make sense if you're planting. I was pointing out plant as an option so that you could draw a card instead of double landing.
Mm.
I'm not sure why you double land with planting.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Though, I don't think playing the plant was necessarily wrong, because like I pointed out before, you can Spectre on the next turn with +1.
Oh
And that's
wow.
so close to lethal, with Scourge Flame
Yeah.
hitting into the 4-2, that's gonna deal 4 damage, and having Flame Burst and Ground Shaker is another 4?
How would you do this? Do you, because you can do it by collecting with the Bloodsinger, but then the Bloodsinger dies next turn to the 6/4. Yeah, this looked weird to me. Like, imagine if he'd instead not played the plant, then next turn he moves the 2/4. Oh, but then I guess another pest would have appeared from Lou behind. Not sure.
I'm not sure if I wanted to make the land. Well, it's
Well,
certainly
if
better
he
than
made
+1.
the
If
thing
you
is, if
if
he
you
made the
plus,
land, he loses his Bloodsinger because he has to collect first before he can play it.
that's true.
And this is going to be tight. So Flotas is almost dead himself, but Lou is on 2, effectively. So in fact, if so, Flotas could +1 Ground Shaker, and then Flotas is on 1. I mean, it's gonna be tight.
This is really close.
So Flotas, what Flotas would really like to do is just draw a Flame Blast because then he knows he can just.
No, Flotaz wants to draw some creature he can develop here that lives. He has to
That's
play
true.
something that lives. And that's it.
Well, he can.
Wait, he can Ground Shaker here. He's gonna win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lou's not finished his turn, right? Like he could.
Right.
I mean, he knows Flotas is going to 6 mana. Yeah. So now it's incredibly risky because if he does that, um, oh,
That's lethal.
oh,
+1 Cypher's Flame
yeah,
Burst.
or just collect either way. Have I mentioned I hate burn? But yeah, nicely played to both players. Like, well done, Lou, to come back from what was a quite nasty situation, and well done um, to Flotas for managing to finish him off. The land play is still interesting, like,
Yeah.
and I'm still not sure if it was good or not because it really did sort of cement Lou's hold on the board when he managed to kill all of Flotas's creatures. But on the flip side, that land just pinned him back for so long and slowed him down. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
triple mountain landing so that you have the mountain spot where you want it, rather than your mountains being next to your orbs and not able to bomb slinger from those spots, and then your third mountain probably touching a well. Doing the 3 in a line towards your opponent. It's clever. It's clever. So we'll see what Lou decides to bring against this burn deck. He's going to opt into blue. And that's a Kalim in red, yellow, burn. Something that a lot of people don't run because they reserve it for yellow. But maybe this is a sign that he's not playing yellow at all.
That would be the first person we've seen in this tournament not running yellow. But I think the actual reason you don't see Kalim too much is exactly what you're seeing here with this hand. Like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna start mountains so he can ciphers the first thing? Is he gonna start
Oh,
deserts
you
and
just Desert Explore, Desert, Kalim, Mountain, Mountain, Ciphers.
okay? I
That
mean,
doesn't seem bad.
Well, it's not terrible, but do you really want Cypher's Wrath to be a full land card?
If it means you can Kaleem.
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of land decisions, lose was quite interesting as well. Like quite often people would start like with two lake harvesters would just go lake. In fact, the initial strat I think a lot of people did was go lake one to either side. Um, but Lou went, I'm gonna bank till turn three anyway because I want to win four, so I might as well start with a double land. And this means both of his lakes will be further up. Like if you could have also gone a lake in front, double land lake, but then one of your lakes in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, lakes
He
aside,
he
double
could
land will
like
work. Lake in front,
to the
lake
side,
in
yeah.
front. Yeah,
I think I would have preferred like to the side because if you find Phantasm Banquet kills Kaleem.
yeah. I think you do have to make a choice whether you want to defend against Kaleem or just develop your own plan. I mean,
Now he
he
sees
doesn't.
Flowtas as being burn, so despite this start from Flowtas, he's probably thinking, hey, he's burn, I'll just push up one
Yeah,
side and win.
I think that's probably right. Like you can't give Burn too much time,
Yeah.
even if they have a Kaleem.
And if you didn't hit the Phantasm, then you don't want the Lore Thief to be here or here.
Also,
Well, I mean, it's
he
stuck
can
there, but
leave the one of the 5/5s at home, and if Kaleem hits face, any unbound will kill Kaleem.
yeah.
Like the lowest you can get is a 6/4, which isn't great, but it does kill Kaleem, and then you can unbound it again to heal if you want to.
What is Lou thinking here? There's no way
It's
you
got
consider unbounding any of your creatures, right?
There's no way I would consider unbounding any of my creatures. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those starts you want as a burn player. Look at him just collecting up
Yeah,
or the side.
no, maybe you're right. I mean, I guess the fact he didn't have any red creatures but only had removal spells means it did actually work quite well to go Kaleem first.
So Lou has a kind of awkward turn, right? You can Lake and just Archon. You can Lake step up and Archon in the furthest spot back.
Is it wrong that I just want to double land and drop an Archon behind?
I don't hate double land, it's just I think Lake is better.
Maybe. I think either way you're gonna need another lake somewhere in your offensive
Yeah,
line.
this spot's not enough. You would end up putting a Lake here or here or here. So if you're doing that, is double land better? Yeah,
You could.
could be.
That's what I was wondering. It's interesting he moved. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say it's interesting he moved up because the 5/5 as mentioned before could kill Kaleem with a trick, but well, this 6/6 kills it without a trick, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize Archon had triggered. I forgot about the Windfall play, so I thought it was just Phantasm. So I thought it was a 4/4,
Yeah.
but this is much better as a 6/6.
So, so one thing about Scout Flame is the card's nuts, but it doesn't have no counterplay. The normal counterplay is you want to make sure they can only hit once with it before it dies. So if Lou manages to never play something with less than 5 attack, then that's like a really big boon for him. And normally that sounds like, yeah, I wish I could do that against Scout Flame, but actually here, looking at his board, maybe he can actually just do that.
Okay, so Flowtas could be really baited into a lot of moves here. He can Mountain defensively to cut off the aggressive Lake, and then Firebomb ciphers the Archon and hit face, and say, hey, your creature can't reach me, it's only Banquet that works.
Yeah.
He could be baited into Firebomb ciphers with the defensive Mountain. Or he could just double collect and Flameburst ciphers the 5/5.
I kind of like hitting your face though. I mean, this blue start was actually like this is the dream blue start really against Burn. Like you never had to play small gatherers. You got yeah, you've got triggered archons, etc. So I was wondering if maybe Kaleem going back and collecting is actually too slow. Like I would seriously consider Zoo just banqueting and hitting for 6 here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I would do as well, is just Banquet hit face.
Then again, it's awkward if the opponent like a lot of people don't play Nightmare, but are you willing to cold cool them on just not having Nightmare? And in fact, Flowtas does play Nightmare. Like, Lou never saw it, so he's
Okay.
in the dark.
The other option is the Phantasm scoots over, you make a lake, you lore thief, you unbound it. No, if you're doing that, you just make the
No,
lake up here.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you need to unbound it because he's one turn off Phantasm and next turn, sorry, one turn off Scourge Flame, and
Well,
next turn you Phantasm it.
he could be holding ground shakers, which would be my reason to lore thief and unbound it.
I'm kind of happy if he ground shakers into Banquet, isn't, aren't you?
I mean,
I'm
I
not sure,
guess you are.
but I mean,
Unless he has like
if
fire bombs and stuff. He has a lot of Feria, so I'd be worried about removal and all that stuff.
that's true. Yeah, it's
Oh, but maybe
probably
you're
a
worried
bit.
about double AoE.
Yeah,
This
I
is tough.
that
I mean, as Luuu and Flowtas, you have to play around so many different ways, and it's just how do you want to apply the best pressure?
yeah,
Because right now Flowtas is threatening AoE.
yeah, it all kind of comes back to Scout Flame again, like putting you on a clock. Because if Lou wasn't at all worried about dying, he's actually in such good shape here. Like, yeah, okay, he's sort of what 8 mana down or something, but his board is insane. Um, but Lou feels pressured into doing things because yeah, there's just so much late game damage out of burn. And in fact, if he loses the task force, it's very likely Scout Flames will get 2 hits because he's running out of things in his deck that um, will take 2 hits from the Scout Flames.
This
Oh,
is
sorry,
insane.
will take
Flowtas
damage.
can actually clear a board, right?
I mean, he has
Ground
17 mana,
Shaker,
so probably
Fire Bomb, Flame Burst Ciphers. No, he's 1 damage off killing the 5/5.
he could hit it with Gleam. Oh no, I
That's
see.
why he's 1 off.
I get it.
I want to draw, but you have double Scourge Flame in hand.
What are you drawing for? You
Any
go down.
ciphers?
It's
I
like
guess it's
exactly
only ciphers.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's Flame Burst. No, no, it's just ciphers. Yeah, okay, you just make the aggressive land. You have to now. But that was still really good out of Flowtas.
Yeah, that was
Lou
really
couldn't
nice.
commit more creatures because if a firestorm had gone off, which is even worse, it would have been detrimental having 4 creatures. So
Oh, and I stand corrected about the Gleam. It's been doing insane amounts of work this game. Just it's double collected so much without Flowtas having to either build land for Lou to step on or just sort of yeah will land on the left. So and it kept the Archon at home.
man, so Lou put the Phantasm here so that if the Kaleem did double collect, he could double and Banquet and trade into it. But now Banquet to kill Ground Shaker looks just as tempting. What do you think you do? Do you double and Banquet kill Kaleem so that you kill off his double collector? Or do you just
I
greed play Ground Shaker now?
I think I want to Banquet to collect. Is
If
there
you
any
collect, you can Lore Thief Mythmaker.
So this is playing directly into Scout Flame, which is unfortunate.
Oh man, this is so tough. Because he has enough Feria to Lore Thief, Mythmaker the Lore Thief, and Banquet if he does the Banquet first to kill Ground Shaker.
He could unbound maybe. I was wondering maybe he could Aurora his thing, kill, and then unbound both of them to try and play around Scout Flame. I'm not sure. Oh, that was.
Oh!
Whoops, we missed that. That was nice.
Oh, you.
Well,
Yeah, you
I mean, he
got
got lucky. He got lucky that it was a 2/5. I like that he found a line that let him do useful things and not play Aurora into Scout Flames. Because, yeah, like, Flowtas would have been so happy if he just killed Aurora this turn with a Scout.
So what can Flowtas do? He can make the mountain, step on it with a 2/5, and Scourge Flame just to tap into the 3/8, but you're gonna lose that race. Despite burning Lou, there's a Phantasm that's gonna be hitting your face, and Judge will actually finish off the Scourge Flame.
Yeah, as nice as the clear was from Flowtas, he's not actually done any damage. Like, what we haven't seen a lot of the usual suspects actually from his deck. Like, we haven't seen Cypher's
Bloodsingers?
Fodder. Well, no, we've seen Bloodsinger last game, but we haven't seen Cypher's Fodder. We haven't
Oh,
seen
right.
Rebel Slinger.
Yeah, Rebel
Um,
Slingers, Grim Guards, Cypher's
Yeah.
fodders. Now we think Grimguards were actually just cut, but yeah,
Well,
Cypher's
I
fodders and
mean, the last
all
game
that stuff.
we went to like 10 cards remaining, so I think if we haven't seen it by now, he doesn't have it. So I think his burn package is triple Scourge Flame, triple Cyphers, triple Flame Burst, triple Bloodsinger, and that's it. So this is a much more control-y version of the deck than we normally see.
Yeah.
Did he just pass through? Oh wow.
It was interesting that he double landed. It let him collect, but if your idea was to collect in the first place, wouldn't you have just made the mountain to step on and then Scourge Flame to collect and fly like between the walls? Oh no, maybe this is still the best.
Yeah, I like that he's keeping his mana open. Oh
Oh
wow.
no!
Oh, the possible slows.
Oh
Oh my goodness.
no! Flowtas with the last nightmare is going to be insane here.
Yeah. So you just Scourge Flame Last Nightmare, right?
Yes.
Wow, is he going face with the Scourge Flame?
No, I
No,
think
he's
the
just
2/5 is
no.
just walking
Yeah,
towards face.
that makes sense. Yeah. Oh no, the banquet.
Why this turn, Lou? You didn't need it. It was 1 damage.
I mean, it's not the damage. Lou was playing around.
Well, like
How much?
Flame Burst
Flo-
Ciphers and stuff.
Well, Flotas was going into 12 mana and hasn't yet played AoE, so maybe that was what he was worried about.
Okay, so I mean, it's not game over for Lou. Lou can +1, kill the Cypher or the Spectre, and play Wave Crash,
You
and
go
then
Spectre or do you just hit face? Because if you hit face, Wave Crash is
hit
lethal.
Fist, Wave Crusher. You're right. I mean, you give the opponent the opportunity to double collect and then play another Scourge Flame, but I guess you don't really care about that.
So instead he's going to play Aurora, which is...
Oh,
I mean, it's fine because his opponent can't Scourge Flame this turn. You know, no, that
okay.
was nice. He's playing quite well
I,
around
I
the
think
cooldowns.
I think Wave Crash was just a better play then, though, isn't it?
So if he didn't move with the bear and played Wave Crash, then Flotas, how much would the bear would have been on 5 HP? So Flotas would need 5 to kill it for 5 mana,
No, it was
and
on
then
2. It was
no,
a 3/2.
it was on 2 because the one, in order to win, Flotas didn't need to just kill it with Scourge Flame. He needed to kill it without Scourge Flame, so Scourge Flame could interpose between Wave Crash Colossus and base. So he needed to deal 5 there, I think. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, Lou found a winning line, and I think my line was also a winning line. But yeah, I don't think he could have actually beaten it. Then you're right, if you just hit him for 3 there. Not without maybe Soul Drains. I mean, I guess, yeah, I haven't seen Soul Drains yet.
That's just game over, right? I don't see any way Flowtas can win. Or survive, rather.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment.
His best way of surviving is Scourge Flame to hit into the 7/7 +1 Bomb Slinger the 7/7 to kill it, but then the
Well,
6/6 finishes him off. So Lou's gonna tie up the series 1-1, and this is going to be it. Match point for both players. So we saw a burn out of Flowtas, and we've only seen burn so far. So what do you think he's got? He's running Kaleem in his burn deck, so there's less a chance of yellow.
there's, I mean, you could see yellow in wishes maybe, but I don't think you can actually see a yellow deck here. Like, that's just sacrilege. It really is. I mean, you actually pray to this guy. But yeah, so well, we're not seeing red, we're not seeing yellow. That's interesting. So there are 2 colors. I think he's going to run blue, and I think he's running blue and 2 wishes because nobody runs green.
Okay, and here we go. Players have selected their decks. This is it. Match point for both players. So the blue mirror, and Flowtas is running Farm Boy in his deck.
Well, there's
So,
a
oh, and creation. There's been topic about blue decks, right? There was the Luu's version that got popular, and then there was the version we released where
yeah.
um, our version
And
had like Falcon Dives and Mochis and stuff, and it was
I think now people are playing kind of neither. Since I don't think Falcon Dive is that popular anymore because the meta's shifted. And I think in general Luu's version fell off a bit. But saying that, I think Flowtas just has Luu's deck here. Like it's
yeah,
got the creation, it's got the farm boy, and both are quite distinctive version of like quite distinctive choices were made.
yeah. What
So
I was gonna add to it is what you commonly see when the opponent is running Farm Boy in blue. Now, Luu probably doesn't know it's blue yet. You can maybe assume it based off Farm
right,
Boy,
it's
but
blue. You
um,
can assume it's blue.
when you see Farm Boy, what most people cut is Mochi, and so you can expect that there won't be Mochis. What you expect to see is like Garridan and Creations, and that's the common idea is, hey, it's gonna have like triple Royal Judge, it's gonna be triple Farm Boy, triple Creation with a Garridan. So
Yeah.
with that information in mind, Luu might play this differently than he would if he saw something else like just Battletoads or something.
Yeah, like especially with Aurora, I wonder if you should go aggressive, knowing that. Yeah, I like this a lot. For two reasons. So he's going into one of those windfall turns like last time, and after you windfall, you need to use every single lake because you haven't played anything before, and you don't have much space. So he played the lake closer, which is worse for Archons if you intend to go to both sides, but it's better with sinks he has.
Do you think Luu will Lore Thief Mythmaker, or will he just pass again?
I think he might lake backwards Law Thief, because that will still let him win four. It depends. Well, I mean, that's really bad against Falcon. It's not that bad. You have to +1 if you get Falcon dived. I would be really tempted to lake backwards win four. Sorry, lake backwards Law Thief. I'd love to lake backwards win four, but that's a bit harder. Um, and yeah, I don't really like using Law Thief Aurora now because if you do that, you're probably never casting win four. So you've effectively denied yourself probably a double collect. Okay,
Double land.
that's cool.
It's
Oh my
tricky,
gosh,
right,
it's three
though?
wishes.
Whoa. I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't either. Also, can I just mention we have both the wars and the creation in the house, so this is going to be interesting.
This is going to be a very explosive match. Now, Flowtas has the Unbound, so maybe Flowtas will get the insane value of being able to unbound a Mythmaker.
Oh, pound the fucking farm boy, oh boy.
I mean, you
This is
just do
actually,
it now, right? You just Mythmaker the Farm Boy and unbound Mythmaker.
yeah, I guess so. Lou's actually in a quite awkward spot because he's going to win full and then he's going to go, well, crap, I have one space to summon on,
Yeah.
and it's got a 6/6 next. Oh my god, okay. Or he could just like double win full. That works too. I mean, Lou's position is sort of awkward, but he's also just played win full Law Thief, so I think you can get away with being a little bit in trouble on the board.
Okay. Despite it being a Lore Thief that can be unbound,
You just
if you're Luu, do you gamble Mythmaker Banquet it?
I don't think you banquet it because you instantly lose the game to Unbound. I don't hate Auroraing it.
Well, Auroraing it, you lose to Banquet.
Oh yeah, that's true. Mm.
There's a lot of lose the game situations
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I kind of like just not doing anything to it. You're right. Like, there's no reason to opt into this fight.
Flowtas is loving life right now. He's like, man, I don't even need 3 wishes for value.
Yeah.
Look at my value.
So can I just say this fanboy was like if Lou had the Unbound on top of his other admittedly insane. Oh, you know what? I can't even pretend to say man Lou's unlucky. His start was insanity.
Yeah, double windfall Lore Thief? That's normally, like, brilliant. Especially with having Mythmaker and Archon in hand.
Yeah. The only thing is, I think he played it a little weirdly in that when he went like explore Lake, he was he was looking for a fight, but then by not playing the Law Thief, he kind of opted out of the fight, which let Flowtas just step down with his 6/6.
Right.
Um, and then Lou had one of his positions camped, so he couldn't. He could. Well, yeah, like we were talking about earlier, he didn't want to Aurora because it lost really hard to this. He didn't want to, or, Banquet because it lost really hard to that. Like there were so many losing possibilities because he let the opponent get position first.
Yeah.
So I
So
think he.
Judge getting punishment will be able to kill off Farm Boy. That's going to
Oh,
be a redeeming
that's
play
actually,
for Lou.
yeah, that's
Um,
really nice.
and on top of that, Flotaz can't actually unbound his Mythmaker because it'll turn into a 2-drop because he creationed it. So
And
Flotaz is a bit limited on his value, whereas Lou is now starting to be able to pump out his value, especially
yeah,
next turn with Mythmaker Banquet as a play.
yeah, no, that's really nice because if the opponent banquet is like, so what, they killed a 1/1, but if you banquet, it's okay. Well, that's just, so much value.
This was an insane swing in the game. Like, Lou looked
Yeah,
like it
the
was really
punishment was,
awkward for him, and now, boom, he's back in it. It's looking
yeah,
fantastic for him.
yeah, Royal Judge. You heard it here. I can't even make jokes about that anymore because Royal Judge is like almost standard now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good here.
I mean, I run one in my list, just because like red has popped up so much. You want punishment just to deal with fire alleys and stuff.
But yeah, so anyway, back to my long ramble. Um, yeah, so by going half-hearted, Lou wasn't really able to fight, but uh he had one of his lands kind of locked away under this farm boy pressure for ages, which yeah, I mean he's still in a good spot, but I think he would have been in a better spot either with both lands on the left or with both lands on the right.
Man, that was like turn 4 or 5 for Flotaz, and he's triple lake one mountain. Lou must be thinking, oh,
Yeah,
okay, it's blue, and he's
yeah,
running a 1 of Garrett, and that's it.
yeah. I like Flowtas's choice to make the mountain though, because as you're right, as you say, this still hides his 3 wishes, and this might make Lou well, not misplay, but play differently because he wants to play around Garridan.
Yeah. That said, I think there's only one line. Mythmaker the
Yeah,
judge,
I
banquet
agree.
it, jump to collect, and kill off the
Actually, do you put
Mythmaker.
the Aurora on face? Yeah, and unbound it.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
you,
can we track this?
I think they fixed Agent Herald if that's what you're saying.
Okay. I think they fixed it too, but
Okay,
I
but
can't remember if he played Mochi or not
if something magically
before
gets
drawing
a
the discounted.
2 mana discount out of nowhere, well, it's easy to track because Mochi is a discount of 3 and Ancient Herald is a discount of 2.
Right. Okay. Now, it probably won't come up as I can't see this game going more than like 3 to 4 turns, but maybe it will actually. When Flowtest plays the Colossus, is that going to trigger Archon? I can't remember if he's played
Yes,
Windfall.
yes, yes, he has. So it will trigger the Archon.
Okay, so that's going to be pretty good for Flotaz.
Yeah.
Another lake. 4 lakes as
Wait,
3-wish.
he just lost a mana though. Oh, it, did he just purposely play around Upbound? Because he opted in to make his Wave Crash 6 cost instead of 5 cost by not collecting with the Aurora first. So I wonder if he was purposely playing either playing around Unbound from the opponent or playing into his own Unbound, where when you have a 7/7 like this, and if you don't have a good trade, it's really tempting to just smack them in the face and ignore it, and then he could trade and get an 8-drop, and 8 drops are generally considered insane. I think that was actually purposeful. I was going to call it out as a misplay, but no, Flowtas is just being next level.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter because it was a
yeah.
Phantasm, but it's a nice play.
I think that was next level play. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, it's not still bugged. That was an old bug that I wanted to track. But the Phantasm ended up costing 4 because it was discounted by 3 from the Mochi. There was no discount from Herald. Man, there's no way Flowtas can come back from this, right? Because even if he had drawn Garridan, he has to make the mountain to Garridan. And it doesn't save...
Yeah.
Well, okay, it would
Uh,
save him, but he
He
can't
could
play it.
maybe he should aspire for less grand things, like perhaps surviving the next turn.
Okay, what do you think he does? Do you do you unbound your Lore Thief and Royal Judge Punishment the
I
5/1
think
and hope to get like Lord of Terror or Tharian Golem or something?
what can you get off the Royal Judge? Is that a better bet? I mean, I think you can
No,
see. Like,
7
I would
drops. There's no 7 drop that saves him more than a
okay.
5 drop would.
So you think you literally just hope, pray for Lord
Oh,
of Terror or
wait,
Dawn?
Shara. Shara might be
Oh,
better
maybe,
than
maybe, yeah.
Tharian or anything like that.
I mean, I think you concede, but failing that, yeah, you unbound. So I think the Royal Judge.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to find Shara. If nothing else, it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
If you unbound the Lore Thief, you could get, like, Grove Guardian. I think that's the only taunt. Or one of the only taunts. There might be more. Oh my god, he got Shara! Yes! Flowtas, you beast! Oh no! I mean, I don't think he's gonna unbound it. But it would have been funny. Because he could unbound it into Ice Rock Behemoth and that would be really, really bad.
Yeah, I think
Wait, is Ice Rock
he just
Behemoth 9 or 8?
it, yeah, he can't get Ice Rock, right? He can get the Mirror Phantasm thing, so 6-4, 7-5,
Right,
8-8,
6-4.
6-12,
Yep.
6-10.
Yeah, 4 options.
As Lou, you just hit the 1-1, hit face twice, and drop Battletoads, right? Or
I
would
can't
you?
imagine any more lines than that.
You could unbound. Wait, hang on, what mat? Is that a 4-mana Phantasm? Yeah. If it was a 7-mana Phantasm, you could unbound it because that makes the Toads lethal. Yeah, I think you just hit face twice and drop Battletoads. Shower though, really, like really game.
High five, Flowtas. Okay, is there any miracle he could 3 wishes?
No, I don't even. Come on.
No. No.
Nope.
God damn it.
Go for it.
Draw for it. Draw for
North,
what?
North, North Leaf into Unbound into
Grove Guardian?
Grove Guardian. Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right. No, he's not trying for it.
Uh,
He doesn't believe.
I'm just saying, if this was one of Hunter's puzzles, he could have still won.
Yeah.